Hey Carp Anglers, James Sanders.
I'm Tommy Pearson.
What up, Carp Anglers? What's up? How you guys doing? Welcome to the show, Carp Talk podcast.
We got a good guest tonight.
Good guest.
Yeah, Austin Anderson.
You guys want to know? Yeah, I'm sorry I interrupted.
No,
good.
Don't do it again. No, I'm just playing.
So yeah, I got a for all you buff maniacs. Austin's the man you want to talk to.
Yeah.
Austin Anderson.
You guys want to go catch? I mean, don't get me wrong. You can go down there and
Yeah.
catch your own buffalo and everything, but you know, he's gonna go there and put you on the spot.
Yeah, the spot.
And they're catching monsters.
Yeah, he's got a cool ass. Can I say yes? Yeah, I can say it.
Hang on. Let's ask production. Can we say ass?
Can we say yes? Yeah. Okay. It's in the Bible. You're right. Okay. He goes to this. He's got a carp buff guide service called Carpro Texas Guide Services. So
Look them up too.
oh, definitely. How's your week?
It's going pretty good.
Oh,
Ready for food.
yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Yep. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody out there.
Yep. Big feast tomorrow. Definitely going to enjoy the show. The feast. The feast.
Well,
Yep. Time to kill the turkey.
Pies is already cooking, and
Yeah.
I'll be up early in the morning cooking a turkey.
Do you like the turkey or ham? Do you have ham?
Oh man, I eat them both.
Do you like which one do you like better?
Man, that's a hard. I like them both.
No, I really
I don't think I have a favorite when it comes to them two.
I think the ham's the one I like the most. I like the turkey. I feel like there's some kind of ingredient in there that puts your ass to sleep.
Yeah.
You actually have.
Right on, Paul. This hoodie's old. He said I like your hoodie. This hoodie,
yeah,
hey, this
it's classic.
Hoodie, yeah, look, it's got the bottom.
It's a 2001.
Got the
TFF lineware.
Haley's 1111 sticker right there.
Is that 2011?
Bottom feeder baits right there.
BFF.
Yeah, a lot of people say I look like a billboard. But that's what it's about. It's about shouting out everybody.
Representing.
That's what everybody should be doing.
TFF represents. Who's
It's all about it's all about knowledge. It's all about passing along knowledge
See,
to the up and coming carp fisher, woman or man, or young kid.
Paul Metz knows where I'm talking about. Ham all the way.
Yeah, for sure.
1111, baby.
Yes,
Yep.
sir. Miss that place.
Yeah.
Miss Steve too, man. Rest in peace.
Steve. So, and anything special going on for tomorrow? I mean, besides the food.
No, I mean the food, but just getting what little, going to see what little bit of family that I do have. Amy's family, she's got a big family, so
Yeah,
they'll all be here too tomorrow. So and then I'm pretty sure my oldest daughter, she'll be in town. She'll probably stop by, and then my youngest daughter, she's a handful already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, should I get this? I always have a problem with the screen all the time thing, don't we?
What are you trying to do? Trying to get to where it's side by side like that.
We could do that. Size kind of want to see the viewers too, but that's fine. That's probably you want to control that. All right, but I heard some news that my daughter is getting married tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Did you just find this out today?
I just found out this yesterday. But she's gonna be at Thanksgiving dinner too. A family get together. She's got a fiance. They've been dating a little over a year, and I guess I'm getting ready maybe having a son-in-law.
Well, that's good. I mean, as long as he's protective over your daughter.
I warned him. I said, "Are you sure you want to do this? I mean, she'll corrupt you for real." Nah, he's a good guy. He's a military man, military boy.
That's good though.
He's got some good family morals, and that's all I care about right there. As long as he takes care of my daughter.
Hit them thumbs up, man. Button if y'all ready to win some prizes too.
Shout out to my daughter Jerry Sanders. Married. I know, right? But she's just eloping. It's going to be a little smaller wedding. It's just going to be him and her and the person that's marrying them.
I mean, 'cause don't think I have a witness.
I think the person I guess is Marion was a witness. I guess wasn't it?
5 Johnny.
5.
Yeah, if you book your flight now, you can probably be here just in time.
Yeah, come on, get it.
Or drive.
So
you know you're more than welcome.
they're done. Johnny. Hey, I still got to send you a couple stickers, Johnny.
Yep.
And,
Do you have his address?
no, I don't. Please give me your address.
Yep,
Just,
send James your address.
personal message me, and I'll send you some stickers, brother. If you don't got nothing else to say, let's go get our guest of honor here.
Yep.
You know, let's get them going on. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for that big old feast tomorrow. I got the munchies.
You don't have the munchies.
I don't have munchies. You got the munchies. I only got. You got some of those spiritual sticks. You got the spiritual sticks. I got
Can you hear me?
Hello. Hey, what up, Austin? How you doing, brother? How you doing?
Doing pretty good. How are y'all?
Pretty good, man. Welcome back to our show.
Welcome back to the show, man. It's been a while.
Thank you. Yeah, man. It's been a while, and a lot has happened since my last episode, for sure.
Oh, definitely. I've been like seeing
Monsters
just popping up. Like, dang, dude, I gotta get back on the show again, man. You're freaking me out, dude.
Man, yeah, the fishing's been incredible lately. I just can't say enough about how good it's been. It's blown my mind, for sure.
You know, must be something in the water, huh?
Oh, yeah.
It's his bait.
To bait. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm only making them bigger, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true because they're being fed consistently. So
To a degree, I would think so, but I don't know. I'm not. I honestly have not been putting that much bait out recently. And one of those 50s I got recently was actually on a day session where I don't think I had any prior bait in the water.
yeah.
Wow.
So it just shows you, I think it's really more right place at the right time than it is, baiting them to a certain spot. But I'm sure anybody who asks would say something different about that.
Right. That real quick, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah.
Is that too much echo?
Not really.
Oh.
My parents are watching back at home right now.
What's up, parents?
Hey, Mom. Hey,
That's
Dad.
about it. They went to enjoy dinner without me, so
Well, yeah. So
they're gonna catch up on the episode on their phone.
Okay.
I'm sure they're watching it right now.
Yeah, this is live on Facebook, but eventually it's going to be on our YouTube channel, Team Fish Fires.
Yeah, so they'll definitely be able to go back and watch it. Maybe on a bigger screen, so they get a little bit better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So right now I'm cutting adding Derek Williams, and then after this is going to be Austin Anderson. So Austin, man, bro, you are on fire, bro.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
he admits it. That's what I'm talking about. So, yeah.
You wanted to go ahead and tell everybody about your guide service.
Just last week, up until I think it was Tuesday. So Tuesday of 2 weeks ago to this past Tuesday, I had 8 fish over 40 pounds between me and my clients. And out of those 8, 3 of them, I had 2 50s and a 49.
Wow.
Which was just, I don't think I've ever done that in a 1 week period. It's just crazy.
Yeah. That is
amazing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's amazing.
You want to take a second and tell people a little bit about your guide service?
Yeah, or also about yourself
sure.
real quick. For people that don't know you, then they will know you after today, or I'm sure they know you now, but
a lot of people they know.
they know.
Gets shared.
But for the people that don't know you, shoot it on out.
Definitely. So I've been running this guide service. Next year will be my 10th year. And I started it in high school. I really didn't expect to be doing this full time when I started it, but right now I am doing this full time.
Right.
I offer day trips, half-day trips as well as these longer multi-day camping trips where we keep the lines out for pretty much, the entire length of the trip, which could be between 3 and 7 days.
Right.
And during that time, you're sleeping on the bank, you're eating food that I cook for you, and you're pretty much just fishing the entire time.
Nice. Now,
And so I don't really concentrate on a certain part of Texas. I kind of travel to where they're biting at a certain time.
Right.
So right now I've been fishing in the Austin, Texas area, and it's just been amazing. This is where I live.
Yeah.
So I've just been going home at night on a lot of these trips, and it's just been all the big bucks you could dream of for sure. And all my friends are also catching big fish, so it's just a great time to be fishing in Texas.
We've got a Colin. He's saying how much?
Caitlin.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Caitlin.
God, I gotta wear my glasses on. Yeah.
Caitlin wants to know, as far as like prices.
So right now I'm doing $350 for a half day or $500 for a full day, and then for my weekend trip is $800, and then my 5-day 4-night is $1,000. And that I'm probably going to have to raise the pricing here in about a month or so, just because the cost of everything is going up, and it cost me more to do these camping trips than it did a year ago.
Yeah, go buy.
But that's what we're looking at right now if you get booked before the first of the year.
Right.
Yeah. So can you kind of give somebody a little bit of idea on, like you said, the prices, and obviously they know they're going to be buff fishing for this amount of time, but what all comes, I guess, with each package, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so on the day trips, I include pre-baiting, so I will go at least the day before, usually 2 or 3 days in advance to the spot and pre-bait the spot so the fish are there when you arrive. And then I also provide all the fishing equipment and bait and everything you're going to need on the trip. And I also offer airport pickup, so if you want to come down, fish 1 or 2 day sessions, I can come get you from the airport and we can go straight to the lake.
Nice.
And then as far as the weekend trips, I provide all the camping equipment, again, all of the fishing gear and bait and, bite alarms and all that stuff. You'll have a bivvy and a bed chair.
Yeah, that's what my next question was going to be.
For you, and then also, usually we'll fish at a camping area.
Yeah.
And the camping area usually has restrooms, showers, running water, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's definitely a plus, especially if you bring the
Oh,
wife.
definitely.
Especially if you're bringing
I
the
get
wife.
all of that when I get a booking. I usually get the campsite booked right then and there, so we know where we're going to be fishing, and it's all pretty much all you do is travel here, fish, and leave. You don't have to do anything else.
Like as far as food and everything, what kind of food would you say that you normally cook out there for the people that that are coming? And
I do a lot of different stuff. We always catch tons of catfish. That's pretty much just a staple of American carp fishing, as far as I'm concerned. So I cook a lot of fried catfish.
Okay.
I do burgers, hot dogs. A lot of simple stuff, but in the wintertime like this, I prefer to make some more like intricate meals. Like sometimes I'll do like grilled chicken with rice and stuff like that. It really just depends on the session and what my people want.
Yeah.
I always ask beforehand if people have any like dietary restrictions
Or
or
allergies or
food
anything.
allergies or anything like that, because I don't want any problem with someone
You're my lawyer.
having an allergic reaction while they're on the bank or something. So I'm careful about that.
That's awesome.
But I've only ever had one time where somebody had a negative reaction to food that I made.
Wow.
And it was because they didn't tell me that they were vegan.
What
And
the heck?
It was on like day 3 of the trip, and I'm cooking meat for every meal. I mean, I'm cooking like bacon and eggs in the morning. I'm cooking burgers at night. And then he says, we forgot to tell you we're vegan.
Wow.
I felt so dumb at that moment. I was like, oh man, no way.
So
Y'all don't eat meat.
So is what?
That's still the only fisherman I've ever met that didn't eat meat. I think.
Yeah, I don't think I ever met those type of species.
Not many
before.
of them out there.
Wow,
And I remember last time, like I know you was telling me last time that there's a place that you go to where there's a hotel like right there too for like people that want to come and bring the wife and the kids.
I mean, where I'm fishing right now is in the middle of the city in Austin, Texas, and the airport is like 15 minutes from the lake that I'm fishing.
Yeah.
And there's hotels and everything, so you can stay pretty much right there where we're catching the fish, and you only have a 10-15 minute drive back to the hotel at night when we get done fishing.
Wow,
that's nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Definitely. Yeah, you're exhausted after catching big fish as well. So it's always a plus to be able to just go and go sleep in a bed at night instead of going on the bank and maybe not getting as much sleep.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Now,
is your schedule pretty full? Like, is it like, do you have a lot of availability for people that's watching that might want to come down or,
So, as of right now, the only months I have no availability in are December and March.
Okay.
But I have several months that it's starting to fill up. So, if you're thinking about coming at least between now and May, I would, get on that pretty soon. I have a lot more availability toward, the later months of next year. And then March usually books eight, sometimes 10 months in advance because the fishing is just so good then.
So
if you want to come in March, you got to get on it. I even have people that get done with their trip and they're immediately booking another trip.
Oh, wow.
For March, which is crazy. I never expected that to be happening, but I have multiple clients that are doing that kind of stuff right now.
Wow.
The experience though too, all the way around probably is just
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
There was a question that wow, I'm brain farted.
I'm brain farted.
So how many anglers are you allowed to come to one session?
So I have gear for I think 4, and I could get gear for more people than that if we wanted to do something like that. I do a little bit of an extra charge for every person. I do 1 or 2 people is included in the price, so if you want to split the price with a friend or something.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
It's the same price for 1 or 2 anglers. But after that, I charge $100 for each additional angler per day. So
that's not bad.
And that's just to account for all the equipment and extra food
and all that stuff. Yeah.
So that's reasonable.
Stuff's added up real quick, and wow, that's kind of.
Oh yeah.
But wow, man, that's I've been stalking your page, your profile.
I don't have to. I see that. I just see it.
And you've been on other. I'm a little jealous. You have been on other people's podcasts too. And then you've been on a fishing magazine, and just the amazing. You're also a bass angler too.
Oh yeah, big time bass angler. I just got off the water. Honestly, I was on Lake Austin today.
What was the biggest bass you caught?
I fish a lot of tournaments for bass.
Yeah.
I don't really get the opportunity to go bass fish as much as I'd like.
Right.
But I really enjoy the time that I get to go because I get to look for more spots to catch carp and buffalo.
Yeah. And
something that I have not really advertised yet that I'm going to be offering for next year, and I've already had a lot of people interested in, is I'm going to be offering guide trips off the boat as well.
Oh.
And
bass
we'll
fishing
anchor up and fish off the boat. It's going to be by the day only. We won't be able to overnight on the boat. Okay. But it'll allow us to fish some places that have never been carp fished before.
Oh, so it is for carp?
Yeah, definitely for carp. I do some bass guide trips as well in the summertime. I have for a few years now, and I'm probably going to do that again this summer just because the carp and the buffalo fishing is really tough when it's 105 degrees.
Now, have you been to...
So that's how I mainly spend my time in the summer. It's my only really slow months are like June, July, August.
When it gets really hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So have
it's
you already
really
been
hot.
out?
The fishing is just as good there. It's
Yeah.
just so hot, and the mosquitoes can be really bad.
Mm.
So a lot of people don't like to deal with it.
Okay.
But I still run trips in the summertime. It's not. I don't dislike being out there.
Yeah. That go ahead.
Have you been out there?
Now we don't get as many of those giants in the summer as well. So
Have you been out there?
we get most of those, 40, 50, 60 pounders in the wintertime and the spring.
Yeah. Have you been out there and tested? I mean, obviously you have if you're about to start offering it, but fishing off the back of the boat for carp, like what's your biggest that you think you?
So what I usually do, I've done it quite a bit just on my own sessions, and I've even done some overnighters off the boat. And basically what I've got figured out is I have like the shallow water anchors on the bass boat, like the kind of like a power pole, but I have the Minn Kota version, the Raptors.
Mm-hmm.
And they're really solid. Like when you put those down, you don't get any side-to-side movement of the boat at all. So what I usually do is beach it in the front. I try to get as shallow as I can and beach it, and then I put the power poles down, and it stops me pretty much dead. You can use a rod pod. You can do stuff you wouldn't normally do. Now, when a boat wake goes by, you get some movement and some beeping, but it's not enough to like throw feet of slack in your line.
Yeah.
That was the issue that I was dealing with for on my last boat. I had power poles, and they were kind of older power poles, and they weren't in the best condition. And a wave would hit me, and I'd move 5-6 feet sometimes.
Oh wow.
Just because the whole boat would rock and be moving, but I don't really have that problem anymore.
Our last week's guest on the show, Derek Williams, he's got a question for you. He said, "Do you have trouble with trouble with people or anglers fishing in your baited spot, or do you just bounce around?"
That's a good question because I do have problems with that, but I'm pretty crafty about where I put bait and also when and to a degree, like what I'm using. So I try to make it different than pretty much anybody is throwing.
Right.
At least as far as I was telling y'all last time about how I like flavor my particle and like I ferment it.
Mm-hmm.
And I am religious about the way that I do that. I won't put any bait out if it's not fermented. So that's one thing that I think sets my bait apart from other people. And if they're not using that fermented bait, I don't think they're going to catch a lot of the fish in the same areas that I'm fishing.
Right.
Now, another thing I do is I fish really, really far out sometimes.
Okay.
And lately, how I've been getting a lot of these buffaloes, I'm fishing really far out, and I'm taking my rigs out there with the kayak.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm like taking, say, 5 to 10 gallons of bait out and just dumping it on top of 2 rigs.
Okay. We used to have
like a ton of bait, and somehow I will do that and get a catfish take in less than 5 minutes.
we used
So
to
it
have
just shows you how many fish are down there on some of these spots. Now, when the buffs come in, it's just like madness. It's just like you can't keep rigs in the water.
wow.
But it's just keeping baits down there in front of them when there's so many catfish around. It's so hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We used to
And
have a
then
team
another
bait.
thing I do is I move a lot. I'm never fishing the same spot.
Yeah.
And if I'm fishing a spot for a couple of weeks,
Uh-huh.
I usually try to get in contact with most of the other anglers around here just so they know that I'm fishing a certain spot and
Okay.
not to turn up there.
Uh-huh.
There's another guy who guides in this area, Kevin Olivier with Austin Carp Angler.
Okay.
And we're really good friends. We'll pass tricks off to each other sometimes.
I think I heard
So
of it.
we're really careful about, if he's baiting a spot, I don't want to take people there. And if I'm baiting a spot, he doesn't want to take people there. So we're pretty good about it. It's just these few anglers that I don't know that I'm always kind of worried about, dang, they're going to show up in my spot and catch all my fish. But it really hasn't happened yet too bad.
Okay.
I've heard the horror stories from other anglers, but it hasn't happened to me like real bad yet.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to have a teammate a while back, Austin Spears.
Austin
Spain, sorry. Austin, Spain, where he used to do shark fishing guide service off the bank, and he basically took his kayak way out in the ocean too, and dropped the lines and also the
Oh yeah,
and the chum.
yeah. I'm big on that kind of fishing too.
Yeah.
So I do not get to go saltwater fishing enough, but I got all into the land-based shark fishing back in high school, and that's actually how I learned to use the kayak like I do with the carp fishing.
Okay.
You know, you don't put any bait out, but definitely like taking rigs out there and stuff like that. I do what a lot of people would do with a bait boat. I don't have a bait boat.
Right.
I don't have anything against people who use them because I think they're super effective, but I just think my kayak is more effective because I can put way more bait out than somebody could put out at a time with a bait boat.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
A big old 5-gallon bucket.
You know, I
right
can dump 2 entire 5-gallon buckets on top of my rig.
Oh, wow.
You can't do that with a bait boat. And if there is a bait boat out there that you can do that with, I'm going to buy it. Because it would make my life so much easier.
That would be.
I prefer to use the kayak, at least at this stage.
You was talking about doing charter boats off your boat, carp fishing.
Yes.
Are you talking about doing it on your bass boat, or do you have a pontoon boat?
It's my bass boat.
Okay. All right.
So
the bass boat works pretty good. It's a 21 footer, so it's pretty
It's
big.
a nice bass boat. Very
has plenty
nice.
of deck space.
So would it be 1 or 2? Would you? Is it just like a 1 angler thing?
We couldn't do any more than probably 2 people, and then I think even 2 people, we'd have to fish 2 rods each. So it would really be best for just 1.
Right.
So when you guys are on the bank, how many rods are you allowed per angler?
So in Texas, the only limit on number of rods we have is 100 hooks. So you can have 100 rods out if you want to.
It used to be like that in
So,
Tennessee and
I
stuff,
mean,
didn't it?
That would be unmanageable if you could imagine how
It'd be
how many.
hectic.
So I limit myself to 10, and most of the time I'm putting out like 6 or more times 4 when I'm really having action.
Wow.
Now lately I've been fishing with 2. That should tell you something about how quick the fishing is.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty fast. Or
Like
much.
this past couple weeks, when I was fishing by myself, I had to fish 1 rod because I was getting takes faster than I could put them out there with the kayak.
Now,
I had 2 different times where I came back to the bank with a rod and I had another fish on, so I had to stop fishing too.
How many rods are you allowed to fish with in
you
Texas?
said 100.
You did say 100?
100.
What was that?
I guess you answered that question.
Yes, he asked how many rods you're allowed to use.
I was daydreaming on
Oh
there,
yeah,
sorry.
you can use as many as you want as long as it's less than 100.
That's crazy.
Man.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, it's wild. They're really not, and like I know a lot of states have laws where you can't chum the water with corn. Like I know California is really big on that.
Oh, really?
And someone was asking me the other day about Texas. Like they were wondering about the laws, and Texas doesn't have any laws against baiting with corn in the water except for waterfowl.
Okay.
You definitely can't put any corn around doves or migratory waterfowl.
Really?
But other than that, I mean, there's nothing against putting as many rods out as you want or putting as much corn in the water as you want.
Okay. Well, real quick, we got a game show. We're getting a game, and the first one is we got a picture of you, Austin, with this nice buff, and basically the first person that could answer the the correct weight. No, go ahead and leave it on here. Yeah.
Well, he's gonna turn around.
The correct weight of that buff. Oh my God, you can't really see it, can you?
So you guys are probably gonna have to go to his page.
Yeah, you probably can't. No, they can't go to this page.
Yeah, they can go.
Because that's
No.
cheating.
Oh, okay.
Not the correct weight. If you guys guess the correct weight, you guys get a first bag hog chow from Bottom Feeder Baits. But you have to tell me the correct weight of that buff. And that picture's not doing it justice on that screen at all.
Yeah.
So good luck. But they're already coming in with the answers. So all right.
It's a big buff.
Yeah, it's a big buff.
How do I book a trip? Can't seem to get you to answer your phone. LOL.
Just shoot me a message.
That's Carl.
I'm always fishing, so if I'm not answering, it's probably because I'm fishing and didn't have a whole lot of phone service.
That's Carl
So
Hamer.
just keep messaging me. If I don't answer, keep messaging me. It's because I didn't see it.
Yeah, you know Carl, don't you?
Carl.
Hammer.
Oh yeah, Carl.
Yeah, that's who said that.
Yeah,
he said
thanks
he said he
for
can't say.
Okay, yeah.
Hey,
tell him to keep me
congratulations to we have a winner.
We got a winner already. Who is it?
Huh? Man, it's
Shane.
yep, them Root Boys.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Congratulations,
50
Shane.
points it is. It's 50.6.
50.6.
We got another one we're gonna do here in a little bit too.
It's another. The picture's a little bit better than that one.
Yeah.
But we'll give it a little bit of few.
Yeah,
But
we'll do that one here in a little
yeah,
bit.
you remember that 50.6, Austin?
Where was it at?
It's one of your carp. It's one of your buffs.
I want to say you recently caught it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
50.6.
that was from last Tuesday, Decker Lake,
Jeez, monster.
here in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
And that was actually from a spot that I had never fished previous to that day. I just went out there and was like, hey, I've never fished here, and caught a 50 somehow.
Wow.
You want to go ahead and open up for a couple questions for the
Yeah.
audience?
Yeah. If anybody got any questions for Austin?
Because I know it, you know what I mean, and we're gonna try to we're gonna give you guys 5-10 minutes to do this.
Yeah.
Because I know you guys are gonna have a lot of questions for him. We're gonna try to get as many answered for you from him as possible, and I'm sure somebody's gonna be talking about rigs. But
Oh, yeah.
he done told you about the main part, you know, for bait.
What's your what exactly do you use for your pickups on your?
Most of the time I'm using tiger nut.
Okay.
Tiger nuts and plastic corn. That's
Yeah.
pretty much the best buffalo bait as far as I'm concerned.
Is there a flavor
I
on it?
flavor my tiger nut.
Oh, you don't?
I use mainly like 3 to 4 different flavor mixes
Okay.
based on the season.
Okay.
A lot of them are fruity.
Okay. Fruity. Gotcha.
Buffalo like fruit flavors, so definitely like cherry, strawberry, pineapple are always killer.
Okay. See, I thought I'm not much of a buff angler, but I always thought that it was like the sour or something like that, or better, or something, or just. Am I wrong?
My thing is I always
Is
thought
what better? I didn't get part of that.
Yeah, that it's more sour.
like he's saying the
Oh,
sour
yeah.
bait's better,
Oh.
you know. I think the fish kind of know, like it kind of tricks them into thinking that it's been there. This is how I think. I think it tricks the fish into
Definitely.
thinking that it's been there longer than what it has.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah, like
I actually use a lot of my sour bait to start the ferment process in my corn.
yeah, like beer and all that
I'll
stuff.
I'll put a little. It's kind of like brewing beer. I just put a little bit of oats or a little bit of like my soured pack bait from 2 days ago or 3 days ago or something in there. That's mainly what I use that for. I don't really use a lot of sour like pack bait per se. But also, I don't really use pack bait a lot of the time, especially if the catfish are bad. I'll just throw a bare rig out there.
Oh, okay.
And most of the time, I'm just flavoring my pickup so strongly that they are going to come and pick it up when they're feeding on the corn pile. I don't really have to rely on the pack bait to attract them. Now, right now, I'm definitely using pack bait because there's just a ton of fish in the area.
Yeah.
I'm using pack, and then I'm also using a PVA mix with a lot of oil in it. And I feel like when they're not as active, putting a lot of oil in your bait can be really good because it can draw them from being higher in the water column.
Uh-huh.
Because that oil is dispersing, going up and down in the water, so I think it can pull them down to your bait. So I use a lot of oil as well. Right now I'm using hemp oil.
Yeah, I was about to ask you what type of oils.
Hemp oil. Interesting.
Yeah, hemp oil. I also use a lot of roasted peanut oil. That's a good one. But hemp oil is better in cold water.
Oh, okay.
So I'll use it till it gets, high 40s. That's when it kind of gets a little bit too thick to disperse. And then that's when I'll just use the flavoring when the water's really cold. Or sometimes even plain pack bait when the water's cold.
Yeah.
Now, when you say pack bait, what do you make your own pack bait? Like,
yeah, 95% of the time I'm using oats.
Oats, okay.
And a little bit of the time that I'm not using oats, I use bread. Everybody asks me if I use soybean or like cottonseed meal, and I really don't. I've experimented with it, but I just find that oats work so much better in these big lakes where there's a lot of current, because the small little soybean particles, they can get stirred up by one wave, where the oats, they can get hit by multiple waves and there still be some pieces down there.
Right.
Yeah. Our next question is from Todd Bright. He said, I guess he's pretty much asking for a good buff bread recipe.
Bread.
I basically just use, the panko freeze-dried breadcrumbs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I just use like a pound of panko and then just add cream-style corn until it's kind of, you kind of have to add it by feel because it's not a full can.
Mm-hmm.
If you put flavoring in it, it'll kind of over-wet it a little bit.
Yeah.
But you have to mix it up in advance of your fishing, maybe 15, 20 minutes, and it'll come out and it'll be just fluffy and perfect.
Yeah.
So you definitely have to wet it in advance. Otherwise, it won't pack when you first get it together. And it almost packs so good that you need to add a little bit of grit.
Gotcha.
So that's what I use in the winter time. Like January, February, I use a lot of bread.
Yeah.
Okay. Our next question comes from Derek Williams, which was on our show last week. He said, how long have you baited one spot? Does it improve over time, or does smaller fish and turtles take over?
That's a really good question, and I put that to the test this year. So in March, I started fishing this spot in February, or it's the beginning of this year. I started fishing this spot like end of February, beginning of March, and I continued doing sessions there until June. And I'll tell you, the fish size did not improve. It did not get bigger. It actually got smaller throughout. We were still catching some good, like, high 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
The only 50s we had were at the beginning in March when we had first started on that spot. And then the turtles and the catfish just got progressively worse and worse and worse and worse. And it got to the point where if you put anything yellow out there, I don't care what it is, as long as it was yellow, the turtles were on it in seconds.
Really?
Because they had seen so many yellow pieces of corn down there that they were just keyed on that color.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've heard people say that they can see color before, but that was the first evidence where I've been able to say, okay, these turtles can see color and they're keying in on the bait just like a carp would.
So when you go out there and you drop your bait, how deep is the water in that area that you drop it at?
It really depends because right now I'm actually using the sonar to look for the fish and then I'm dropping it where I see them.
Okay.
So it could be, like today while I was bass fishing, I saw lots of carp on the sonar.
Okay.
And I was just kind of keeping in my mind the average depth of where I was seeing them. And it was surprisingly shallow. It was shallower than I would have thought.
I believe it.
They were all 10 to 15 foot today.
Uh-huh.
Now, the buffalo relate a little bit deeper, so I don't really look for bumps shallower than about 15 foot. And today it seemed like most of them were like 25 to 30.
How can you
Kind
tell
of
the
hanging out
difference?
deeper holes.
How can you tell the difference between the commons and the buffalo? Like
on sonar?
So on my boat, I can really tell easily because I have that live sonar,
Okay.
the forward-facing sonar, so I can actually see how the fish sets up on there, and I can see the buffalo just has so much higher of a back
Okay.
than the common carp do. So you can tell the difference just by the shape of the body, but also I don't really find a lot of carp in the same spots I find the buffalo. The buffalo tend to be right near the river channel, and the carp like to hang out closer to the bank, and they'll even go up in the creeks and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. But on the kayak, I don't have as high tech of a sonar.
Yeah.
I just have down scan and 2D sonar, and I'm just looking for a big old blob that's up off the bottom,
Nice.
like a big mark. And the way I differentiate the buff from other fish is it's just too big to be anything else.
Yeah.
So when you
So that's what I'm looking for.
when you chum, how long do you in your areas does it take for a bite to start that you start thinking that all the prey is starting, all the buffs start coming?
All the food's gone.
Yeah, basically.
So that's a good question because it really depends on each session how much the fish are eating it. Now, I told you last time about the underwater camera.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And lately, anytime I'm in doubt ever that there's bait down there, I just put that underwater camera down and I know immediately. And usually, I've only put it down one or two times when there was any bait left that you could see on the screen. So I think way more often than we know, all the bait's gone and you're just sitting there with rigs in the water with no bait there.
Johnny Wiles has a question. He says, have you tried hot tuna oil for buffs in cold water?
Interesting one. I've never heard that one. I've heard a couple people tell me to use really hot oils when it's cold. And I know like that Rod Hutchinson Mega Spice,
Yeah.
that's one of my best buff flavors of all time. That one is great, and that one's really hot. So I could definitely see why that would work.
Do you have any problems with alligators in your swims down in Texas?
With alligators. So I've only ever seen two while I was carp fishing,
Yeah.
and one of them was this year at Lake Sam Rayburn.
Yeah.
But I don't really have any problems with them, the spots that I carp fish. Now, if I fish in the spots where they live, which is more where the creeks dump into the lake,
Right.
I'm sure I would have issues because there's some aggressive gators out
Oh
there.
yeah, I bet.
Oh, I bet too.
They,
Gators.
I've only had an issue with one while I was carp fishing one time, and it was just one that wouldn't leave. It was kind of hanging around the baited area and wouldn't really swim away. And I ended up having to chase it away in the kayak because it just wouldn't leave. It was there for like 3 hours. And my clients were getting nervous, so I chased it out. But
They're going to catch a PB and
I think they were only
and
nervous
take it.
because they were British and had never seen anything
Oh.
even close to an alligator before.
Yeah.
So they were like, one of them put a chair in front of his
What up,
bivvy
Kyle?
that night and said, at least if it comes into our camp, it'll make sound.
That's a good question. Is there alligators
I was
in
like,
Britain?
that thing ain't coming at you.
Is there any kind of alligators in the UK area? Or is it just here in the
I don't
United
think
States?
they've got
I'm
anything
sure.
like that. They don't even have turtles up there.
They don't.
No,
Oh
they
my God.
don't.
That's crazy.
No, the scariest animal I think they've got is the eel. That's about it. I mean, none of their land mammals are scary. They don't even really have any snakes. I think there's only like 2 or 3 types of snakes over there.
Oh wow.
No alligators in the UK.
No, thank you. I didn't. That's never a question that ever dawned on me or something.
Yeah, it's not something that really
Yeah.
ever dawned on me.
I mean, I guess we're just so
Carl
used
Hamer
to.
said they do have turtles.
Oh, they do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think they've got some, but not
Yeah,
nothing
not like
what
we do,
we've
not
got.
like a whole bunch.
maybe like a painted turtle or something like that, or
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
What's your guys'
We've
next
got,
question for
oh,
Austin?
Um,
What's your what's your new PBs? I know you've hit.
Oh,
I know
come
you
on,
busted
tell
a
us.
PB since we've talked to you last.
So I have the only PB I've broken this year is that crazy fantail,
Oh,
which
I've seen
I
that.
could not believe I caught that.
What was the ounces of
I don't know
that?
if y'all saw my post on that, but it was at like 2:00 in the morning. I had a run.
That's a beautiful
And I wasn't
fantail.
thinking anything of it, so I just picked the rod up and reeled it straight in, and it was a 25-pound flathead catfish.
Mm.
And I've never caught a flatty carp fishing. It was on a boilie. And I was just like, what the heck? And as soon as I get it in the net, the other rod goes. And I'm thinking, what the heck? Like, I only had 2 rods out at the time, and my other rod goes. So I picked it up, and I just knew the fight was just not right. It ran really hard, but then I was able to turn it really easy.
Right.
And it just kept going side to side, and then I finally got it close to the net, and I thought it was just like a small common, so I wasn't even going to net it at first. I was just going to pull it up and unhook it in the water. But then I saw that flowing, like the long fins, and I was like, oh man, no way. The fantail, and that's a completely wild lake,
That's
and it's
crazy.
125,000 acres.
Wow.
So the likelihood of catching a fantail in there is just so low. It was only about 10 pounds, but still, just to have a fantail from a lake like that is really interesting.
Yes.
Shows you never really know what's out there.
Yeah. Do you have besides the alligators, is there any other kind of prey like a gar or anything? Do you have?
Yeah, I mean we've got Lake Sam Rayburn, which is the lake I run a lot of these camping trips at.
Yeah.
The full tackle world record alligator gar was caught there back in the summer this year. It's 283 pounds.
Wow.
And I mean, you can imagine that thing can probably eat a 20.
Oh yeah.
So that's why we don't catch a lot of little fish out there, because those big alligator gar are out there eating.
Just eating them up.
Exclusively carp and buffalo. That's pretty much what they're keying in on. And I think a lot of the time, these fish move around a lot in these lakes because these gar are eating them.
Yeah.
And they got to be watching their backs because they're not the top predator in the lake. They're just part of the food chain.
Yeah. Your next question's gonna come from Chris. He said, "What's your biggest common out of that lake?"
So my biggest out of Rayburn is only in the 30s, but I've definitely heard of some in the 40s being caught out there. Now, most of the lakes that we get our bigger commons at are smaller lakes. Like, I say smaller, like, about 2,000 acres or less.
Yeah.
I think part of the reason for that is there's no alligators or no alligator gar in those kind of lakes.
Right.
Because that's what they use for alligator gar when they go fish for them too. They use small carp.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people are using small carp as bait, and I get people asking me all the time to buy carp. Like they want to buy small commons from me, and I've never sold any, but it's just funny that people will ask me,
Right.
hey, save the carp for you. They've even offered me $20 each for it. I can't bring myself to do that. I'm too much of a carp angler.
Yeah, that's the same way with me.
Definitely.
Yeah. But okay, so you carry the bivvies, you carry all the equipment and all that kind of stuff. You provide different showers at different campsites nearby, and you provide the food. Is there?
Yeah, I show up with a 16-foot enclosed trailer full
Yeah.
of every piece of gear we could possibly need.
Nice.
And I pretty much just set it all up, and it's all set up when you arrive, ready to go. Rods in the water, everything.
Was there any kind of, besides the veggie person, was there any kind of unusual request that?
I don't really get any unusual ones now. I get a lot of people chasing IGFA records. And I'll tell you, like, guiding is one thing and, like, teaching people how to catch carp, but, like, those IGFA guys, they're another level. Like, you have to, it's hard to do that. Like, you have to definitely conform to a lot of rules.
Yeah.
Because IGFA just has a bunch of crazy rules on, you know, what size net you can use, how you land the fish, how much line is on the reel, how long your leader is, all of that kind of stuff, the length of the fight. So there's a lot to it.
Right.
And lately I've been getting a lot of those guys that have been chasing those line class records.
Okay.
And those are even harder. I have one guy coming up that exclusively chases light line records. So like 2 pound, 4 pound, 6 pound head.
Oh, wow.
And actually he's the one who caught that all-tackle world record alligator gar.
Okay.
So listen to this. He caught that 283-pound alligator gar on 6-pound test fly.
Oh, my God. You know,
Fought it for almost 3 hours.
see, that's what my next question was. How long was the fight on that thing? Oh,
Yeah, 3 hours. And so
how big was that
IGFA
gar again?
allows you to use a 72-inch
on a
leader.
6-pound.
So they used a
Test line.
72-inch leader of like
3 hours.
50 or 60-pound fluorocarbon. And then they were able to grab the leader by the boat to land them. So they just had to get the leader in the rod guides, and you can imagine how hard that is when that thing's
That is
running,
incredible.
you know, gulping air and diving down, and I could only imagine. So I have a trip coming up with him, and that's going to be an incredible trip. I can already guarantee you.
Man,
Just, I can't wait to see how he fights the fish on this light line.
that's crazy.
Because I told you last time that I use heavy line. A lot of the time I'm using like 50-pound braid, 65-pound braid. Even my hook length, actually using 50-pound braid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lightest
You're
hook
dealing with
is
some
20.
big fish too.
So we're going to have to tweak everything for this light line record.
Derek Williams has a question for you again. He said, "Can you bring your own gear, or do you suggest your provided gear?"
So I definitely allow people to bring their own gear if they want, but
Yeah.
I would suggest using mine because I use this gear every day for catching these fish, and I know it's going to be up to the task. And I mean, I'm going to triple check every knot, and I'm going to make sure that everything is absolutely up to speed. And I have seen many times where people bring their own gear, and they're just losing fish left and right. And that's due to the line choice and being able to cast far enough to hit the baited area.
Nice.
Yeah, I think.
So I definitely would never come to Texas with mono on your reels.
All right. Well,
Like mono or really any braid under 30 pound is just a no-go as well. You want to have some heavy equipment and heavy rod.
Plus,
Like
it's going to
3.5
save.
Petra rod.
It would save a lot of money too,
oh yeah.
because
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Not having to transport everything,
Yeah,
you know,
'cause you
not
gotta pay
having
for all
to
that.
drive all the gear out is definitely a big money saver. I'm probably going to run some trips there this March. I have one trip that I'm definitely going there. But I really only go to Fork by request now. And I haven't been getting a lot of requests to go, and I've been catching big ones in other places.
Now, do you have a girlfriend or a wife?
I'm single.
Okay.
So that's definitely
I'm not
helps
asking you out on a date or anything. I
he
mean, I'm
fishes
just,
too much. He
Sure.
fishes
No,
too much.
that's, I was just wondering, do you have a girlfriend? You know, and what does she think about your situation all the time?
Yeah, every girlfriend I've had has been just like they think I'm crazy for what I'm doing, but at the same time they understand it.
Oh yeah, it's a business.
But right now I'm just single and doing my own thing, and I'm loving it.
All right, sweet.
Yeah,
Nice.
there's definitely nothing wrong with that.
No,
for
that's
sure.
it's awesome. You know.
It gives you, and plus it gives you more time to fish.
Yeah.
Giving me way more fishing time, I'll tell you that.
Now I know since the last time it's been a while since we talked to you. Now we asked you about maybe a dream lake you would like to fish. Was you able to kind of maybe achieve that since the last time we talked to you, or
Not yet. No. I'm still trying to get to Dale Hollow as hard as I can, but every time I try to come up with some dates to go to Dale Hollow, I end up booking them for guide trips, and it just hasn't happened yet. So that's on the bucket list. I really want to go over to Europe and carp fish at some point.
Yeah.
I want to go to that Bled in Slovenia, that one with the big church on the island in the middle. I would love to go there.
Oh, the church.
I think I mentioned Rainbow Lake as well. I would really love to go to Rainbow someday.
Yeah. Okay.
But I really just want to expand my fishing horizons.
Yeah.
I had a client this past week. His name's Larry Walker.
Yeah.
And he has been all over the world. He's fished in, I think he said 55 different countries.
Wow.
And he's caught everything that swims. And he just so many recommendations on places, different places in the world to go and catch these giant fish that nobody knows about. So I have a list now brewing for sure.
Yeah. There's a couple, an older couple here in the United States that they actually went to, they was trying to break the record, where they actually went to each state to catch a carp.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they tried all 50 states, and the states that did not carry carp, they actually had to get permission from the DNR to have a carp or something, or I don't know exactly remember how they did it, but where they actually put it in that pond for a little bit to catch the carp.
Frank?
See if they can catch it. That's funny.
Who's that?
Frank and Narda?
Yes.
I've never heard of that.
Yes, Frank and Narda. Thank you, Carl. You're absolutely right. It was them. And he passed away. I mean, like I said, they were an older couple, real sweet. I met him. I was lucky enough to meet him one time.
He said they had carp
really cool.
flown into Alaska.
Alaska, yes. They had a carp flown in.
They probably had, probably more than one.
Yeah.
You think?
No. It was
Wow.
It was just one carp?
One carp, just to try to carry it. Now, he passed away, but I think she was still around.
I wish maybe it'd be nice to have her on our
She came to
podcast.
Westside Bait and Tackle one time.
Be nice to have her on our podcast and have her talk about that
Yeah, that'd be
experience
great.
and doing that.
Heck yeah. Oh, you're absolutely right. I should try to find out if somebody could give me her, well, I don't know.
Try to get us in contact with her so we can have her on the show.
I know they were probably like in their, and I hate to say the age thing, but I think they're like around 70s or 80s at the time or something.
Yeah. He said great couple. He
Oh,
said
yeah.
an artist still travels the country in their van.
Really?
Probably still carp fishing.
Huh.
Well, I don't know if she's still carp fishing, but if I was traveling, I'd definitely.
Well, he was mainly doing all the.
He said thanks, Carl. We appreciate that. He said he's going to send us her details.
Yeah, thank
If
you.
we can get a hold of her, that'd be
awesome, you know. But it was very She was a very they were at the time they were a very educational couple. So.
Well, they've traveled to so many different
Yeah.
countries. They've probably seen so
Right.
much different stuff,
Right. So. What was it? Yeah. Oh, let's go ahead and throw the number game out. So what are you?
Y'all better share.
Yep.
Share and like.
So I got this other pack bait.
Carl does know a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, he's a very knowledgeable person too.
Wild Oats. I got from Bottom Feeder Baits.
Is that Wild Oats?
This is Wild Oats.
Oh, yep, that is the wild.
That is the
I
wild.
love that too. Somebody asked a question about that earlier, about
Mhm.
about the chow being there, thinking it was gonna make it lock up, but it don't. It helps it break.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna pick a number.
Are you gonna pick the number?
Yeah, I'm picking
Go ahead,
a
pick the
number.
number.
Picking number. We're gonna do between 1 and 1,000.
1 in 1,000.
We're gonna do
Well, it's 1 to 1,000. You get that number. What's your big plans for Thanksgiving,
Austin.
Austin?
All right, between
We've
1
got
and
a bunch
1,000.
of
You gotta
families,
share.
Just flew into town today, so I'm going to be spending time with them tomorrow. And then I actually have a trip starting on Friday, so I'm going right back into the grind.
Nice.
Thankfully, it's here in Austin, so I don't have too far to travel. And this is going to be a camping trip, so it's going to be a real chilled out trip. This is a client I've had 3 times already, so I'm just looking forward to it, man. I'm ready to get back out there on the bank.
Oh my God. Man, you are a lucky, lucky man to have a business like that and doing something that you love. Now,
Definitely.
He created that for himself.
Oh,
though,
yeah,
too.
he did.
You know what I mean? So that's that.
do you, here's another question. When you got anglers with you that booked with you, do you also fish too with them?
It really depends on if the person wants me to fish as well, and
Right.
I'll fish, 2 rods or something.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody brings their own equipment, I just by default fish, because if somebody's fishing their own set, I need to know what's going on out there as far as like how they're biting. If
Okay.
the rigs I normally use are working in that instance, so I will fish when you bring your own equipment.
Okay.
But otherwise, I don't really. I do all the casting, reeling in, rebaiting rods, all that stuff. But if there's a fish on the line,
Yeah.
I'm letting whoever booked the trip reel it in.
Now,
The only exception to that I make is in the middle of the night. If you're fast asleep and we get a run, I usually run out there and reel it in. But we don't catch a lot of fish at night on a lot of these trips.
really?
We'll get some very early in the morning, so it's crucial to have your rigs out there right at daybreak, or maybe even
gotcha.
a little bit before daybreak.
Yeah.
So more
You guys
often
ain't
lately,
even
I've been
close.
just reeling in at about midnight, going to sleep, and then I set an alarm for 5 o'clock and cast back out.
Wow. So when's the sun start setting over there? Now.
Right now it's like 5:30,
Oh.
so it's setting real early right now. So we're getting way
That is
more
early.
hours of darkness fishing than in light. Now in the Austin area, it seems to be flip-flopped. All the fish we're getting right now are at night.
Okay.
We've had a couple during the day, but it seems like the evening bite is where it's at, like after about 4 o'clock.
Huh.
So it seemed like between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. was when I was getting all those big bucks last week. There was only one exception to that, and I had one at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Now is your bites? Is it like an hour and a half apart with each other, or a couple hours, 2 hours apart with each other? How many bites do you like in a day, maybe?
Actually, 2 of the 40s were back to back. I mean, within 2 minutes.
Wow.
So I think a lot of these buffalo, at least in Lake Austin is like a river.
Yeah.
It's a very narrow, long lake, and there's a lot to it. And those fish swim up and down the lake all day. And they're swimming in the school. And I think just when that school passes over your bait area, you might have a chance, or if you have 2 really well-placed rigs, you might have 2 chances
Yeah.
to catch one. But after they move from right to left, they're gone. You're not going to pull them back upstream until they want to go that direction.
Now, do you think that the common carp and a buff, they both, do they both, in your opinion, fight the same, or is it?
It really depends on the water body because there's some lakes that I fish where you won't get any fight out of the buffalo. It's like pulling a wet towel in.
Yeah.
And then like Decker right now, these buffalo are not doing buffalo things. They're running like a common carp. Like they're taking 100 yards of line on the first run. And then they're digging for every snag they can get to on the way back.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what causes that. They just, some of these fish bite, some of them don't.
How about
No, I think that the common carp fight harder, I mean, as a rule of thumb, but some of these big buffalo will just kick your ass. I'm not sure what causes them to fight harder in one instance over another, but man, some of them fight real hard.
Now, do the buffs, do they actually, when they're playing with the pickup, when they play with the pickup, is it like a quick grab, or is it they just kind of like play around with it and
I think it really depends on how they're feeding at a certain time, because I have some places where the buffalo will sit there and play with your bait for like 2 hours before they eat it. Like they'll sit there and you'll be getting like beep, 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 beep. And I mean, they'll just go up and down, up and down, up and down. And when they finally, I guess, have it in their mouth, they run off with it. Or the line will go completely slack. But I'm not really big on picking it up and setting the hook or even moving it at all until I'm 100% certain that buffalo is hooked on there.
Okay.
So I don't really move it very often. I just sit there and watch it, and usually I know if it just continues moving, I'll pick it up and hit it.
Nice.
You guys are all around this number. Oh, and don't forget, you guys need to share too to also win. You have to have the right number, and you have to share and like this page.
Okay. If anybody got any more questions?
Do you have a question for us, Austin, at all?
No.
James said no.
No, Who's Team Fish Fighter?
Do y'all have any big plans coming up for Thanksgiving?
See, now we're talking about food now. Okay.
My wife is upstairs cooking.
Yeah.
She's upstairs making pies and everything as we speak.
What flavor company do you usually go through a lot?
I use a lot of stuff right now. Mainly right now I'm using Proline bait, but I'm using all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of what I use is not like carp flavoring per se. I use a lot of molasses. I use a lot of red cell, which is a horse supplement. And then I use the juice from my fermented particle. I use the crap out of that stuff. I use it to flavor all kinds of things.
Nice.
So I'll actually save it. If I run through a bucket of corn and there's still juice in the bottom, I'll actually save it, put it in the bottle, and use it in my next bucket of corn.
Wow.
Because I feel like that, whatever is in that, whatever chemical gets produced by the corn doing that, it only gets better with age.
Do you
So I'll continue using that same stuff.
do you have any kind of sponsors that help you support? Well, I'm not saying you need money, but do you have any kind of sponsors?
So right now, the only sponsor I have is Veriva's line, but I'm working on a couple. So I have some announcements to make soon on that.
Yeah.
But I can't really talk about anything yet.
Yeah.
Well, hey, whenever you do, maybe we can get you back on the show just for a quick.
Oh, definitely. That'd be really cool.
I definitely want you on your show at least once a year.
Well, I mean, maybe we can help him with his announcement.
Just to get to answer all these questions.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes me think about fishing for sure. Got me itching to be out there again.
Yeah, I wish I was actually out there bow fishing. Because I know to me, cold water here, that's when they go off really, really well for us here in the Pay Lakes.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's when our best fishing is the colder months. Some of these biggest buffalo get caught really December, January, February, March. That's when our water is in the 50s. Right now, it's in the high 60s still, but it's been very warm lately. It's only just turned cold here.
Now, your sessions, when they book,
He says an ammo number. No, it's not an ammo number.
is it that is it like a whole week, or is it like a weekend, a couple days, or a half a week? How you do it?
What was the question?
When you do these sessions, is it about a week? Oh,
He does 1 day. Yeah,
I would say over 50% of my trips are those camping trips.
like a weekend trip.
I don't really do a lot of day trips. Even when I just go on my own fishing trips, I go for days at a time. So most of the time when you're seeing those fish pictures, that's a day trip. Now, every one of those 40 pluses I caught last week was caught on the day. So that just shows you how good the fishing is right now. One of them that I've been fishing, you can't camp at, so you kind of only have to fish during the day. But man, it's just good fishing right now. You don't even want to be camping because you're so worn out at the end of the day. You want to just go sleep in the bed.
We have a winner.
Yeah, we got a winner.
Winner, chicken dinner.
turkey dinner tomorrow.
What's crazy is she put it on there twice.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. But congratulations to Caitlin Crafton. You won it. The number was 656.
656.
656. 656. 656.
Congratulations.
I will be seeing you guys sometime tomorrow because we still have your first prize that you won.
Okay.
So I'll get that to you, so we can just put that over here with the
Wild Oats.
Yep, put that over there with that.
Who won the hog show? The first one?
Shane.
Shane.
Yep. I'll make
And
sure
then,
I'll make sure I get that to Shane.
And RJ, I'll get you
Yep.
your
RJ.
tournament blend.
RJ's got that one.
Mill it off. Oh, I still got to mill off the
Some stickers to Johnny too.
Johnny. So, yeah. A little far all behind there doing all this stuff.
Yeah. And any flavor companies out there that's watching, if you guys would like to send us a few bottles of flavor, to give away on the show, not only to help us out, but to promote your business too, your flavor company. We appreciate that too. Get a hold of me or James, and maybe we can pick it up, or you can ship it to us or whatnot. We appreciate you, and I'm sure all the up and coming carp anglers and the people that's watching, they appreciate it too.
Yeah, definitely. Anybody got we're coming forward pretty much to the end of the show here soon. Anybody got any questions for Austin? We'll probably give it about another good 5 more minutes, and then if not, Austin, wow, man.
Yeah, I want to come down there so bad. I would love to go down there and catch a PB buff like that.
I've never been to Texas before.
I think my PB buff is...
Definitely, I'd love to make it happen for y'all. It's a cool place. Obviously the fishing's great, but it's just neat to come to Texas and get to see the way it is around here.
Yeah, that's
it's a cool place to live. I couldn't imagine myself anywhere else, to be honest.
You lived in Texas all your life, right?
I've lived in Texas my entire life.
Yeah.
I grew up in the Dallas area, and I've lived in East Texas, and now I'm living in Central Texas. So I've gotten to see the full range of everything. Every part of Texas is like a different. It looks different. Like the scenery is much different. East Texas, you've got forests and big tall trees. North Texas, you got prairies and you can see a long way. Central Texas, you got the hill country. It's almost like mountains around here.
Nice.
It's really neat. There's a lot of diversity in our state, and the lakes are way different all across the state. We've got some good lakes.
That's awesome, man. Well,
And not to mention the bass fishing's really good as well. So
What's your
kind
PB
of
bass?
can't go wrong.
what's your PB bass?
It's 11-pound 8 ounces.
Okay, that's a good one.
I've been trying to break that. I'm gonna get that broken this year for sure.
Now,
So there's one lake out in West Texas that's just sitting out giants left and right, and one of my friends who's a bass guide out there, he is one of the best guides that I know. Well, he had a client this week catch a 1665.
what? That's a bucket mouth.
Yeah, that's a carp blade. That ain't a bass
Oh,
blade.
that's another question right there. Do you mess with those peacock bass? I know they're in Florida.
I wish we had those around here.
Yeah.
I would love to catch those.
I know they came from the Amazon River.
Yeah,
And-
we don't have anything like exotic like that.
Yeah.
A lot of stripers.
And,
So I get quite a bit of striper fishing in
right.
every year. I have this one lake I go to and we just fill the freezer up.
Nice.
But other than that, I'm mainly just bass fishing. I go for catfish some. And lately this year I've gotten into doing the gator guard thing.
Yeah.
And man,
That's
that is
exciting.
fun. There's this one spillway that has the gator gar up to 200 pounds,
Wow.
and you can actually catch them on lures. Like you're throwing a 1.5 ounce rattle trap at them, and
Yeah.
they just freight train it. They hit it so hard they try to pull the rod out of your hand. So that's something I can see myself doing a lot more. So I'm going to try to get more into the gar thing. I only went about 2 months ago for the first time. So I'm going to try to get more of that in next summer for sure.
I want to shout out RJ Grinder.
Yeah.
He said, just to clarify, I'm only 17 years old,
Oh.
and he just started Pay Lake fishing. I'm sure he's around a lot of Pay Lake and scenery, man. We appreciate you watching.
Yeah, thank
watching
you.
our show. That's what it's all about. Is a young man like that trying to learn something new.
Yeah.
That's
Well.
awesome. I remember when I was there, trying to pick up information off the other carpers. Usually carp anglers are great about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if anybody don't got no questions for.
Yep, Austin, we appreciate you,
Man.
and everybody, don't forget to look up Carpro Texas Guide Service. You have a website pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just carprotexasguideservice.com or look me up on Facebook or Instagram.
Do you have an email that they can contact you to?
I'm Austin1295@gmail.com.
Okay.
Well,
Just shoot me an email or shoot me a message on Facebook, and we'll get your trip booked.
Well, that's the way to do it right there. That's how I contact you. Say, hey, you want to be on the show?
yeah,
And here you are.
Yeah, if you're even interested, just shoot me a message, and I can give you any information you need.
Sweet. So, man, Austin, it's our pleasure to, it's great to have you on our show. I always love talking to you, especially all these beautiful creatures that you can catch each
very,
time.
very, very knowledgeable for sure.
Oh yeah, very knowledgeable.
Absolutely.
You definitely know your
Man, I
stuff.
really appreciate y'all having me on. I really enjoy just talking about fishing. I could do this all night.
Oh, I can see it in you. too.
Definitely would love to come on another episode.
Oh, definitely. So,
Hey, Austin, do me a favor whenever you get off the phone, man. Call Carl for me.
Oh, will do.
Call Carl. He said just don't call him on the phone. He's probably fishing. I'd rather have a rod in my hand than my phone too. But Austin, we appreciate you,
Yeah,
man, and
definitely.
I'm sure hopefully we'll be able to talk to you again soon, and appreciate you being on the show as always.
yes, thank you, Austin.
Absolutely.
All right, have a
Thank
good one.
y'all.
Later, brother.
enjoy the Thanksgiving.
You too, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Wow. That's right. Yeah, man, that's his stuff.
Yeah, he does. That's why his Carpro Texas Guide Service is doing so well, because you know, he's putting people on fish. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, you can go down there and do it all yourself. You know. But you're going to spend, in my opinion, you're going to spend a lot more money trying to do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to take your stuff. You just want to use all his stuff.
Unless you're driving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the food's provided for you. The bait's provided for you. The gear's for the bivvy. Everything's there. I mean, I'm not mad if he wants to bring the prices up a little bit, because I feel like it's
like I said, he's providing food, all the gear. You know.
Picking you up from the airport if you don't need that to be at the airport. Wow. But, well, I mean, I guess we're coming towards the end of the show, man.
Yeah. I wanted to throw something out there.
Great.
A couple things, really. Don't forget, we're still looking for a couple teammates.
Yeah.
You know, get a hold of myself or James Sanders. We'll put your name on the list. You know, we'll probably be doing that. We'll try to get it done before January. That way, we can announce them at the beginning of the year.
They're in Indiana right now.
Yeah, yeah, we're looking for Indiana teammates. You know, there's nothing wrong with being you know, the Pay Laker background too, but you know, we want to. Yeah, we want a realm of a fisherman. You know, somebody that's gonna, you know, pass on information, try to teach others, you know, practice carp care. Really, main thing is just teaching others and showing up and wanting to do videos and showing people how to make bait and stuff like that. That's really what we're looking for. So if you guys think that's you know, get a hold of us. Another thing too, we're gonna be trying something new out. We might be doing some pop-up podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
We got a couple things in the works. We've already got
different places.
Yeah, but it's gonna be. I mean, I'll let the cat out the bag. It's gonna be bait shops.
Yeah.
We're gonna do one podcast a month, pretty much.
Yeah.
We only have a couple bait shops, but we're gonna try to do a podcast at each one. We had a bait shop reach out to us, and pretty much he's wanting us to come do a podcast at his bait shop.
Yeah.
Which we don't have a problem with that, you know. So I think it's pretty cool. I think we're gonna try to do it at all of them.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of all of them, you know, Naptown Bait and Tackle, Indy Bait and Tackle, Adams Outdoors, Chris at the Barber Shop. You know, support all your local bait shops.
You know, speaking of Thanksgiving, I'm thankful.
I'm thankful too.
I'm thankful. Thank you for my friends, my family, you, brother. I mean,
appreciate our team.
Thank you for you guys. You know, thank you for watching our show. Thankful, man.
Please share this.
Yep.
We appreciate you guys. Hit that thumbs up button.
Yep. And then also, when make sure you guys, you know, be thankful tomorrow. You know, with being hanging around your family. So that's pretty important. So that's it. Do you got anything?
No. Always practice good carp care.
Good carp care.
You know, that's what we're always about.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you're a flavor company or something, you guys want to send some flavors in for something to give away to the carp anglers and stuff.
Give you recognition.
Yep. We appreciate that more than you know.
Yep.
And if anybody, and I mean anybody, sees Justin Sears or talks to Justin Sears, can you have him get a hold of us, please? We know he is a hard-working man, hard to get a hold of. We appreciate you guys, man. We'll see you guys next time.
Later, guys.